Hello, everyone, and welcome to Truly Bedrock Season 3. This is episode 25. How's everybody doing? I'm doing great. We are recording this episode right on the tail end of where the last one left off. Because I want to get going with these villagers. I'm kind of inspired, I'm excited, and that excitement may be flawed, but hey, we're ready to do this. So, I've taken the liberty to prepare some stuff that we're gonna need, and I did write down a list of all the different villagers that we're gonna need. I want basically a protection, a mending, an unbreaking, respiration, aqua affinity, depth strider, feather falling, sharpness, looting, efficiency 5, fortune, silk touch, power, infinity, and flame. The only one I didn't put in there was the fire aspect of the sword. It's one of those things that I'd imagine we'll get with one of those 15 villagers there. And I don't necessarily need 15 villagers, because some of these might be, we might get a mending villager that has an unbreaking trait or something like that as well. So I did go ahead and get 15 lecterns. I have enough materials here to make 10 beds. Unfortunately, I'm out of wool. And through the chaos of going back and forth to Spawn Town, I didn't even look to buy string or anything like that. I did buy some name tags. I've got some glass. I've got some composters here. I've got a couple of trap doors, and I think we can get some stuff set up. What was that? The book. I also grabbed some melon and my pumpkin that I was going to use for seeds while I was over there. Not to mention, I've got this thing completely full of potatoes and carrots. We did do some trading with Melvin, and we've gotten like 18 emeralds from him. We're good to go. So I did do a little bit of work off camera, and you will see to the left there a thing, but we're not going to talk about those guys just yet. And we built this platform here. Now, originally this thing had a roof on it, and I put a couple of blocks here, and I was just chilling on this thing right here. Back over here, waiting for mobs to spawn in there. Ever so often I would go in here and kill them. Unfortunately, we did not get any zombie villagers. So I was heading back downstairs to do some work and grab a few things to start getting prepped while it was daylight out. Even though that this farm would have worked during the daylight. Or no, I'm sorry, that's reverse. During the nighttime, even though this farm would work during the nighttime, we have a lot of mobs that'll spawn around us, so I wasn't... Hello. I wasn't gonna sit at this thing AFK during the evening. And yeah, that happens a few times, we fall off. So anyway, I came back down here to start gathering up some material, and lo and behold, I pop over this little hill right here to kind of look at the copper, see how it's doing, and there was a zombie villager here and a zombie villager here, which I inevitably led into this boat, and we've name tagged them Breeder. And they are going to be what is going to fill our villager breeder. The problem is, I've got to get these two knuckleheads up there. So I do have an idea. I think I want to go ahead and turn these guys into villagers. I think it's going to be easier than trying to get these zombies to follow me with the potential of them burning in the sunlight. Like I said, I think it's going to be easier to turn these guys into villagers. The problem is, if this one turns into a villager before this one, he's going to attack and vice versa. So I'm going to have to wall this off, dig a little bit of a pit, and separate these two guys out, convert them into villagers, and then build a thing going up and up and up and up and up. So I think right here, we're probably going to do a water vader going up. And I'm going to use netherrack, obviously, because we have a bunch of it. I don't have enough to do what I'm planning. And then I'm going to fill it full of ice. We're going to put a piece of soul sand down here. And then we will just lead the villagers in here and let them shoot up. And then we'll push them along a track into the area. So I need to clean that thing up, as well as cleaning the station that I was going to cure the villagers, or the zombies in. This guy right here. we need to go ahead and tear this thing down as well. So, good news, bad news type situation. Everything was going to work out the way I had planned. There was mobs spawning in there and spawning in there pretty decently. So it was going to work, but hey, this works too. And yeah, the only unfortunate thing is now we got to get these bad boys up here. So on top of not having the netherrack that I think I need to get these guys up here to this approximate location right here where that netherrack is, I also don't have the ice that we're going to need either. So I'm going to have to go fall down? No. I'm going to have to go over to a little area over here where you can see a pillar. I have an amethyst right here, and there's one of those ice biomes underneath here. So we're just going to go down there and scoop up a little bit of ice, and then come back over here, and hopefully, guys, keep your fingers crossed that these villagers are cooperative. You know, they want to come up here to their newfound home. It just ain't gonna happen like that, is it? We know it's not. We know how villagers are. They don't cooperate. They don't listen. They don't do anything you want them to do. So while the sun is going down and before we end this clip here, one thing that was suggested to me, again in the comments section of the last video or the video before that, I can't remember now because we're doing a bunch of recordings and stuff, is that I should build, or I should capture, rather, some phantoms and put these bad boys in our base, name tag them and things like that, which I thought was an excellent idea. The only issue is we gotta capture the phantoms, and I've never messed around with phantoms, but I haven't slept in a long time because I'm thinking about doing it on a live stream. Now, coming up here in a couple of days from the time of this recording, we will be doing a very long live stream from Truly Bedrock, where I have plans to work on the Nether Hub as opposed to doing anything over here at the base. So I'm thinking before that live stream happens, we're going to have a different live stream where we try to capture some phantoms. I don't know. It seemed like a good idea. It could all fall apart, and that's okay. But it's going to be fun nonetheless, right? So, I'm kind of way ahead of schedule in prepping for that, but we are prepped for it nonetheless. But I'm going to tear the rest of this thing down. I'm going to go get some ice, and we're going to try to move some villagers today. What is that? That looks like my skin. I came back to the base to get a water-breathing potion so that we could start building that tower. What is this? Player head reward token exchange. Player heads only, no mob head, thanks. Head reward token. Staff only. When the light is on, we are in stock. Your reward shulker gets dispensed here. Place your head token in here for a reward. Out of heads, get more this way. So we can kill ourselves? Huh. Well, let's see what that's all about. I heard, I think it was Beardstone, or maybe it was Tiz that was talking about it, and let's see what it's all about, because we have a couple extra. Look at that. Place down the old ender chest as we were flying. Anyway, we have died, what, 10 times now? Yeah, 10 times. So why not? We got one here in this base. We've got one over at the other base. In the Nether Hub anyway. And we have 8 spare that aren't going to do anything. That's cool. It looks like Tiz. Zloy for sure. Silent. Me. I like that. Okay. Player heads only. So we'll put our head in here. And then we place our token in here. And the shulker... No, that's definitely not it. Ooh. I mean, I'll take that. I will take that. That's pretty cool. Neat. I didn't even know this was a thing. Well, I kind of knew it was, but... The funniest thing is, so they want the player heads, you get the token, you put the token in here, and when the light is on, they're in stock of what they're offering for a reward, and then our reward pops out here. Out of heads, we can get more this way. Stop, empty your inventory and set your spawn, and then die. So that is neat. Well, that was a good use. I was going to fly back to the base, but we'll go ahead and take the Nether Hub. Why not? And let's go break some ice. So you guys would have seen me break the glass and pop up the tube. This thing is massive in size. It is a nice way to get up and down from the top, but it looks god-awful sitting out here. That looks funny. Anyway, we're going to have the villagers come up here, and I will be capping this thing off so that we can have a little bit easier time when moving the villagers, but that will be at a later in the episode, rather. What I want to do is I want to start prepping this area here for the actual breeder. So what I'm going to need is to go ahead and take my two workstation blocks and place them here. We're going to need a few slabs. Here, here, and here. And then we're going to need a little bit of trapdoor action. One there. And then one up like so. Let me have this guy back, please. And then all I should have to do now is actually remove these couple of blocks here. Get myself some trapdoors here and up here. Now, one thing I'm really going to have to watch out for that a lot of people don't typically worry about is lightning. If we get into a thunderstorm and thunder's rolling, lightning's striking, these villagers could turn into witches, and we don't want that. So, until we get all of the villagers that we need out of this system down to where we need it, we should probably put some kind of something above them, right? And I don't remember how many blocks above them is needed, but I do believe that if we don't do that, they will die. So the next thing that we'll do once we have the villagers in this location is place a block here, and then I need one more trapdoor there. So even though I built this cool little pipeline here, it's actually not going to work for what we want to happen. I'm going to need to build it up a little bit. No big deal, because we're going to want to drop our villagers into their forever location right here. So we will just temporarily tear all of this down. And how... We could, at this location, just do another little water baiter to get these guys going up with a piece of soul sand. Something like so. And then we'll go up one more block, and then we will come across here like so. That should work. If we do that, and we do that, that, there we go. I think this will be plenty to get these guys in here, getting them into this location. Again, I need a trapdoor there. We can go ahead and place that there. That protects them. that should make it to where they won't go any which way. Alright. So the last thing that I want to do is probably throw in a few torches in this section up here. Mobs could potentially spawn. And we definitely don't want that. Because we are, like I said, going to cap this thing off. Just so that we don't have any issues with villagers. And I may be doing something completely wrong here. I don't know. It's been a long time. Bear with me. We're trying. We're making attempts here. That's never going to work. Essentially, what I want to do is when I bring them up to this location, I want to come up with them and get them kind of trapped. And then we're going to go ahead and use water to move these guys around. I've got a couple of buckets that we're going to fill up. And yeah, I've got to separate my villagers. I've got to get these guys rolling. We got a couple of buckets here. We're going to dump a few inventory items and trapdoor and try to get some villagers. So I had planned to bring you guys back in. We were going to take the zombie villagers. We were going to break them up, cure them, and get them to the top of the base. But things went really awry as far as our plans are concerned. I decided to do a stream the other night. By the time this video comes out Monday, it would have been Thursday night that we decided to stream. And on that stream, we went ahead and got ourselves some phantoms. So if you guys aren't following me on Twitch, you should probably do that so you can watch videos like that where we do random things like capturing phantoms and putting them in our floor. Now this was submitted comment in a YouTube video a couple back that I did. I like the idea. I think it does look super menacing and cool. There's 3 of them there, and then there is one more. There he is. Yep, we got 4 of these guys in here. They are named Larry, Curly, Mo, and Shemp. If you guys know what that is, go ahead and leave a comment down below and tell me what it is. So while we were waiting for night to befall upon us, I went ahead and decided to separate the villagers, cure them, and send them up the tube. As you'll see, we cleaned all of it up except for this one little piece of soul sand. And what I found out is if you have a little plus sign like we did, which I have nothing in the shulker box, but remember we had a block here, here, and then here, and it went all the way up. If you have a villager in a minecart and you push it up against the block here, it will catch the water vader and shoot it all the way up. Which was unfortunate because there was solid blocks at the top, and that villager ended up suffocating, so we did have to get ourselves a second villager. Which is unfortunate, and I will say hi to Jazzy here in just a second. If we can fly. Well, we did get a second villager, and we did manage to get them up here on top of the base. And now we have 2 bad boys chilling. They are ready. They just need a couple of beds and a little bit of food to get going on what we had planned. Now, other plans have also changed because I did a little bit of research. It turns out that my original plan was to have villagers here. We were going to tube them down to a layer down below, which I haven't even started on, and we were going to zombify them. And then we were going to cure them. Once we did that, we were then going to start rolling their trades and get ourselves the 15 villagers that we needed, or less, depending on the book trades. We don't have to do that. From watching Silent's video, what I've found is if you have villagers in a 33 by 33 block radius and 34 blocks in height, you can sit here and turn one into a zombie villager, cure it, turn the other one, and so on and so forth, and eventually they will all recognize that you've saved them, and we don't have to worry about anything going on. Melvin, I want to check out your trades, bud. We should go ahead and just sleep? No? I thought I had a bed. No, I do not, which is curious because now I'm wondering why the two villagers at the top actually changed professions. Being that they don't have the proper mechanics, right? They're supposed to have a bed, they're supposed to have a workstation. I don't have a bed placed down. Oh, and we can't sleep on our bottom floor because of the phantoms. Yeah. So anyway, through all of this, basically what I'm trying to get at is plans have completely changed. We're not doing the same things. What we're going to eventually do is... Yeah, that one linked automatically to it. Is we're going to set up another floor to where we can trade with these guys. Or, I'm sorry, we can zombify one or a few of these guys, maybe a couple floors above us. Maybe, we might even put a little zombification area right here. We are going to have free-range villagers like Melvin here that just wander around and do their things. They interact with one another and stuff like that. So we could set this up in such a way that we have the zombie back here. He will kill maybe potentially villagers sitting, or turn them into zombies rather, sitting in positions here and here. We can leave this spot open for us to get in and cure them, and then we can wall off everything else so that none of these guys turn into zombies. I know that was a lot, but trust me when I say that my original plan was just to zombify them one at a time as they come down, maybe more than once. This is going to be an actual easier way to do it, so we can actually start rolling some villagers just down here and start getting them turned into librarians, roll their trades, try to get some books. But I guess the next step is going to be for us to get a zombie in this position here, which is going to be easier said than done. I don't know if we can do it in a minecart. Either way, it's going to require a little bit of redstone and a little bit of planning, but is also going to require a couple of baby villagers. So, with that being said, we need to go back down, which that is a very dangerous way to do it. We need to get ourselves a couple of beds, and we need to grab ourselves some motivation for these villagers. So down here at the bottom, we have a water source. This way the villagers can come down from the top easily and have a nice little soft landing, more or less. And then at the top, I've created a little bit of a tube with water there as well, so that as these villagers come and go, oh my goodness. This is a constant problem with flying, but we've created a top section here where we're not gonna make it. Anyway, where these guys will pop out after breeding, and they will just be cycled down. Now, with what I've done and everything, and how plans have changed and stuff, I honestly don't even need this whole setup. I could have this setup down there, and it would have worked just fine, because this is heavily reliant upon beds. So, unlike Java, where you can just kind of place 3 beds and villagers will breed, we would have to pull the babies away 100 blocks. So, for every bed that we place down, we can have a villager. And hopefully, one of you guys will link up? Is how it's supposed to go. They're probably not going to link up because it's nighttime. But basically, these 2 beds should be the breeder here. And if we go ahead and just sleep in one to get the night over with... Ah, I was wrong. They do link up. These guys now have formed a village. So if we add one more bed, I can get these guys to breed me one more villager. If I add 2 beds, so on and so forth. You guys get the whole thing. They're going to start throwing potatoes at one another. And hopefully we can get ourselves a couple of a couple of villagers. Couple of beds, yeah. So So what I'd really like to do is one at a time this eventually. When we set down beds and stuff and workstations, we can go ahead there. Nope. Did I see one? Yep. Yeah, look, there he is. There he is. We can watch him fall down. Hopefully they don't die. Oh, perfect landing. That's awesome. So we can let this thing go for a little bit and collect a couple of villagers. I know that this isn't going to be far enough of a drop for more than a couple of babies, but it is a start, and that's really, really nice. Well, our first 2 villagers have grown up, and also while in that process, I have managed to get myself a zombie. So, to make things easier on myself as well as everybody else, because my villagers seem very keen on coming up here, this one is looking for its bed. This one has linked to its bed, and it has linked to the stonecutter that I have down below. So, we do have to keep that all in mind, that this is going on. That blocks like the stonecutter, though we're using quite often. You're gonna need to come down there, sir. We are going to have to you know, just make sure. So the next thing that I need to do, and we caught ourselves a zombie. As you see, we've got him sat in a minecart. He is ready to eat some brains. You can see he's looking at that villager as a tasty little treat. But we need to go ahead and set some dispensers down like so. Now, unfortunately, this villager and the dude over there are going to be the test subjects. Yep. So we're gonna place in some nether brick like so. This blocks off the whole back side of this this farm, rather. It's not a farm, but a zombification chamber. And then I think what we're gonna do is take a little bit of this gray stained glass. We're gonna have gray stained glass like so. And then I need to get a villager in here and in here. That's where these guys come and play. But it's going to be rather difficult. So I'm going to place this glass here. We're going to go with another nether brick there. And a lever here. Perfect. So what we're going to have to do is individualize this. We're going to have to get him in here and get homeboy right here over here, utilizing some mine carts and some rails, which I don't have the mine carts. Now we have the mine carts and we have these guys collected. It wasn't as painful as I thought it was going to be, honestly. I had to go chase this guy down, but other than that, it was no big deal. So hopefully we can just do that. Oh, it worked. Push him back a little bit. Get rid of the minecart, and now we have one zombie, or one potential zombie villager going, right? The next guy is this guy. Rather easy here. Let's be smart about this. This is not tinted glass, so we can't just be breaking it. We will break that, though, however. And we will do something like this. And now, should be able to just push this one in. Easy. You know, we spent some time in the stream and stuff working on collecting phantoms and what have you. We've gotten really good at collecting these bad boys. So one thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place in blocks like so, and then we're gonna take our walls and they're gonna go like that. And the reason for that is pretty plain and simple. We do not want, in no way, shape, or form, the villagers that we are going to have in here. We don't want them getting into any kind of problems. So this should prevent them from getting in here completely. And now the last little step that we have to do is we need to come up here and we need to wire this up. So if we were to pull the lever down that's over there, it's going to release this piston, right? So if we break this, it's working. Zombie is attacking our villager, and one thing to note that Silent said is we have to play on hard mode, or these guys would not. These guys would not turn into zombie villagers all the time. So, we want this thing, we want this lever to be on, and what we want here is a little bit of directional redstone. So to do that, we're going to utilize a lever, and I need one more piece of redstone dust to place over there, and this will essentially kickstart the system. So let me clean up some rails, let me get a few other things that we need, and we'll finish this system up. And Melvin and his buddies should be perfectly safe. I did put this wall up. It should be fine with villagers dropping down here. The reason for the wall was Melvin was getting mad that he couldn't reach the workstation. So, a little bit more redstone to finish this bad boy up, as well as a few other things. So for those of you guys that don't know, most every single potion you ever brew in Minecraft requires nether wart into a water bottle to make the awkward potion, and then you can brew from there. A weakness potion just requires a fermented spider eye, so you need a brown mushroom, a piece of sugar, and a spider eye, and you can start brewing this right up to a weakness potion, no problem. It's the easiest potion that you can make because it requires the least amount of ingredients. Now, though this requires the least amount of ingredients, if we wanted to turn these into usable potions for our villagers, then we would need to make splash potions of weakness. But there is another option, and it's going to require us going to the top of our base. Because up here, I actually sat a cauldron down, because during a live stream, everybody told me that this is the way that you get powdered snow. So I thought that was pretty neat, and we were going to try it out. But as you guys know, we can place in all of our weakness potions in here. We can then take a stack of arrows, and now we have a stack of arrows of weakness. And we can utilize these to our advantage when it comes to curing our zombie villagers. The only other thing that we need is going to be some golden apples, which of course, why would we have those? So right now as it sits, Melvin has a carrot trade of 17. It used to be 16, but it went up because we traded some carrots with him. So if we were to come over here and finish this little farm out by placing a piece of redstone dust here, that will extend this thing here. We need to go up on top and place in some weakness arrows in here and some weakness arrows in here. Now, I do believe that we need another lever to move this redstone so it's not facing this dispenser. And I have almost everything. So the reason that we want the lever is to move the redstone. With this facing this way, it is going to power this dispenser, kind of wasting arrows. With our lever being on this block right here, it will power this dispenser and this dispenser. I had to get the redstone over to here, and the easiest way for us to do that, honestly, probably would have been to come this way with the redstone as opposed to this way. I guess it doesn't matter, it's 6 to 1, half a dozen the other. But either way, we don't want the redstone facing this way, and we don't want the redstone facing this way. I'm sure there's probably an easier way to do it, but it works nonetheless. Now, the last thing that we need to do is get a couple of name tags so that we can name our zombies, or our zombie villagers, rather. And we're just going to call these guys Ben. Oh, ain't that silly. The poor iron anvil broke. Ben and Jerry. We're naming them after ice cream because they're tasty treats, right? Sure, that's what we're gonna go with. So hopefully... Yeah, see, Melvin's doing his thing. He's not even worried about the zombie villagers. We're gonna name this one Ben. We're gonna name this one Jerry. And bada bing, bada boom. If we press this... Is it the other way? Yeah, it's the other way. So if now the system is on, these guys would have been turned into zombie villagers. We turn the system off. Here. And get over here to cure Jerry. And bam. The glass is down, blocking the zombie from eating these guys again. And both of these guys are now converting. And this is a nice little zombification converter that we can just use and use and use and use until our villagers have the trades low enough. So let's wait till these guys convert and we'll see where old Melvin's at. Zombie conversion done. They are now Ben and Jerry the villagers. And where is... Hey! Melvin now has a trade of 15 carrots for an emerald. Still has the 1 pumpkin, the 1 melon. That's really, really good. Other trades that he has is we can pay him an emerald for 4 apples or 1 emerald for 18 cookies. Pretty good. So we can just utilize this system to continuously convert these guys back and forth between zombies and villagers. Now, Silent recommends in his video leaving these guys as zombie villagers. Can I reach in here? 31. 31, that's good. These are not being powered and wasting arrows. But recommends leaving your system like this for the pure and simple fact that these guys are not taking up the beds or any of the workstations or things like that. And as you can see, we've got a new little villager here. What I need to do now is go back up to the top and place in a bunch more beds. We have our lecterns here to where we can start waiting for our guys to grow up and we can convert them into librarians and stuff like that, and we can get all of the books that we need. Now, the last video actually just released, and one of the comments that I got was in the Discord, and it wasn't on the video per se, but was having like a weaponsmith and stuff like that so that we could get our armor and whatnot if we needed to rather easily. And though those are good suggestions, diamonds have pretty much been rendered useless this season because everybody's using copper for monies. So yeah, we're gonna just make our own armor. But we could get an armor smith, and a weaponsmith. It's not a bad idea. It's just really dependent upon what we want. And of course, struggle. So right now, as it sits, we have 2 villagers, and we can get 2 babies. Plus, we have Jerry's bed down there. And I have made all the beds that we could possibly need. So if we just take and fill this guy up to where we can have 3... 4, 5, 6... 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's only 13, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. No, that ain't right. So 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Aha! We did it! We did it! We did it! We did it! So, These two villagers have their own beds, and now we will eventually, over time, we're probably going to have to give these guys a little bit more food. We should be getting ourselves plenty. Let's just throw them all of the potatoes. Fine. It's fine. Make me more babies, please. Yep. It's going to work out perfect. Where eventually we will have 15 villagers. They will grow up. They should not be affected by this area at all. In no way, shape, or form. It's looking a little dark over here. So we might just want to do some torch action just in case. I definitely do not want any of my villagers to die. The other thing to consider when building this little guy right here is when you're building this thing in your world, if you don't have an underground deal or inside of a base, you need to put 3 blocks over it like this. This is just to prevent the sunlight from killing them. We don't have to worry about that, luckily. So we ain't going to worry about it. But yeah, we now have a zombification area. We have a second villager there. We're going to leave these guys as villagers. And eventually we'll have Melvin, a whole family in here that we can start doing trades with and get all the items. So villagers, yeah, we've 2 episodes now working with villagers. By the time this video comes out, we would have done a decent little live stream from Truly Bedrock, and hopefully we spent some of that time rolling these villagers. There's a 3rd one now. Oh my goodness, we're populated. Oh, I love it, I love it, I love it. So I am going to go break my stone cutter and any other potential job blocks that these guys could link to. I don't want them linking to it. There's a 4th one. We will get the lecterns down here. We will eventually move the beds. We're probably going to need to start designing some, like, bedrooms rather than just having a bed laying down. And we'll probably utilize these other 3 areas outside of the zombification area to our benefit. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, you guys know the routine. Leave a like, leave a comment. Consider subscribing if you're new. Be sure to check the description down below for all the different ways to follow me, including Twitter, Twitch, and a link to my Discord. There's a link to the Truly Bedrock Discord and the Truly Bedrock website down there as well. A link to all the other Truly Bedrock members' YouTube channels. Go check them out if you're not already. Trust me, there is so much good content to be had. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.